Hello, welcome to PhDpreneur, where we discuss PhD mindset and personal finance. I had planned a different video actually. I was supposed to tell you what all should be packed while planning for a trip at Vipassana. Guys, I was going through my playlist and I just realized I have not done a single video on the introductory 10 days course. So it does not make any sense to do a packing video before that. So here I am. Today we'll discuss what are the different things that you need to keep in mind before booking your 10-day Vipassana course. What was my experience? What did I learn from it? How can you book a Vipassana course online? What are the different things and documents that you need? Today's video will be a complete guide to anyone who is thinking of attending Vipassana 10-day residential course or who is unsure of whether they should attend or not to attend. Hopefully you will get some clarity by the end of today's video. So without further ado, let's begin. Vipassana or Vipassana means to see things as they are, not judging them, not giving any kind of color to them, not thinking of it as something else, okay, but whatever it is, however it is, seeing it as it is. Vipassana was a daily technique which was practiced in our country many years ago. Because the spread was not so much, people who passed it to future generations added their own beliefs to it. So somehow this technique got extinct. It was still being practiced in the purest form in Burma, now Myanmar, was taken as an initiative to return this very precious and very immortal form of knowledge to our country by Mr. Goenka, also fondly called as Goenka ji. So Vipassana is a 10-day residential course where the technique of Vipassana is taught. There are no charges absolutely for this course, either for accommodation, for food. It's completely free for new as well as old students. Old students, after their gratitude because of the technique they have learnt, they usually donate some amount of sum. And this whole Vipassana movement or these residential courses are run solely based on donations. There are no charges whatsoever. This technique is non-sectarian. It does not cater to any religious belief. There is, some people say it is related to Buddhism. It is not related to Buddhism, or it is not related to any of the religions. This method aims at removing all the mental impurities and leading you to a path of full happiness and liberation ultimately. It's a mental training which involves observation of sensations. Exact technique we are not allowed to disclose on media or anything. For that you will have to visit the residential course only. 10 days, usually around 10 to 12 hours of meditation every day, from morning 4:30 to evening 9 p.m. And every day there are discourses. That means every day there are lectures which help you understand the technique better and implement it in a better way. Now, what I liked about this is that in many spiritual practices, it is usually seen that you are told that you have to be very positive, you should not be negative. But what is that technique which leads to that result? That is usually not taught properly, or sometimes even if it is taught, then you don't agree with it. This Vipassana meditation is something that will teach you how to get to that level or how to get to that result. At the end of the day, it is a journey. Just because a person has taken Vipassana meditation does not mean he has got fully liberated. This gets you to the path where you can see you can see yourself changing, you get the awareness and you get the distinction between right and wrong. You are expected to maintain Maun Vrat, no speaking, no speech for the entire duration. Now, what made me go to Vipassana, or why did I start on this path, or what was my thinking before that? So I took my first Vipassana course in 2018, I remember, in January. From childhood, I was always interested in spirituality, meditation, self-improvement. When do you know that a particular technique is the right fit for you? When you no longer crave to try out other techniques. Okay, I was constantly trying out different forms of modalities, different things because of some situations that had occurred. All the things used to work in the short term. When I found Vipassana, I thought like it was this is it. Then my search for other things ended over there. If you have tried out several things and things are not working, or somewhere you feel things are working to some extent but they are not working fully, that means that technique, that path is not for you. When you feel that there is no need to search anywhere else, that is the path that is right for you. The point that when I had started was also when I was not getting results in the sense I was putting in a lot of work with respect to some of my career goals. It was not materializing. Something, there was a missing link. There was an ad on newspaper. Out of curiosity, I enrolled. My first course was in my native here only in Goa. Let's see the structure of the course and my experience, okay? So once you enroll for the course, first thing is moral conduct. Moral conduct means there are 4 things that you are asked to follow throughout the entire duration of the course. First thing is abstaining from killing, speaking falsely, telling lies, any kind of intoxicants if you are consuming, then during this time period you will have to stop all that. And second, any kind of sexual activity for the duration of the course. These things are made clear on the first day itself. The reason why this is done is that here we are trying to give a fair chance to Vipassana to act on us. Sometimes when these 4 things are there, since this technique is so pure and so noble, sometimes it may not work. So these things calm your mind and facilitate you into this process. Anapana meditation. Now the technique of Vipassana is not taught to you directly. Your mind is not focused, okay? You are coming from outside world into this area or into this world which is totally focused on inner work. So that bridge is Anapana meditation. Your focus increases. First 3 days, Anapana meditation is taught, which helps you in becoming more aware and helps you in becoming more present into the situation. For my first course, I remember the first 3 days were really tough because you are not used to this length of meditation. It's 1 hour sitting, in between there are breaks. I have seen people struggling to maintain a meditation practice of 10 minutes. Then for 1 hour sometimes it becomes a little tough. On the 4th day, the technique of Vipassana is taught. There is a special discourse by Goenka ji, and he teaches you, the video lectures are there. He teaches this technique and takes you through the technique one step at a time. There you realize, there are some realizations that only you can feel. This part was a little bit more relieving as compared to the previous one. Your focus now is more, so you are able to grasp what the other person is trying to say. From 4th day afternoon to 10th day, the schedule of Vipassana goes. On the 10th day, something called as metta. Now what does metta mean? For 10 days now you are in an isolation, in a very different form of world. So now you will be exiting this world and you will be entering the real world. Now since you have maintained that silence, okay, you are not allowed to speak during the entire course time. If you are exposed to the world just like that, it will come as a shock. So this metta is basically a practice of facilitating goodwill amongst all the fellow course-mates, as well as giving basically goodwill to everyone around. After metta, you are allowed to speak. Helps you in developing that bond little bit and prepares you to exit the course. If you have done any kind of 10-day course or any other course, then I have done a video on how to maintain a 2-hour practice. Actually, that is the takeaway from this course. You may do many courses, but if the practice is not there of 2 hours per day, then it doesn't give any results. And I would say the only takeaway of this course I know of several people who have done several courses, but they are not maintaining the practice. So this video would be helpful for you. By now, I am assuming that you are excited to book your first residential 10-day Vipassana course. Now let's see how to go around booking the course. I will share a screen recording with you that will help you in booking the course. Now what I do generally is I check the schedule, whatever it is. I bookmark on the calendar the day on which the course opens, okay, and I put a notification for that. So whenever the day opens, I can easily get a notification on my phone. Accordingly, I book, because sometimes if you book late, then the chances for you to get enrolled is less. And one more thing, I wanted to make a distinction between new students and old student. A new student means someone who has never done a 10-day course. An old student is one who has done at least one of these courses. And if you have never done, the first course that you will be doing is a 10-day course. The rest of the courses will come after that. Also, there are two kinds of locations. One is center and one is non-center. Now, some places have fully furnished centers, okay? That means you will have a hall, separate hall, you will have your pagodas, you will have your cells where you can meditate alone. Non-center locations are those where Vipassana courses are conducted. They may not be fully equipped in comparison to a centered course. The technique, everything remains the same in both the locations. I have done my first course in a non-center location because here we did not have a Vipassana center. So ultimately choice is yours, but if you are doing for the first time, I think it is better if you go for a location with a center. So let's move on to the screen recording. Okay, so first thing to do is come over here. Okay, I will link this website in the description box. You go to courses and go on search. This is the page that opens. Okay, so now there are 4 tabs over here: for new students, for old students, for children and teens, for executives. Since we are starting, I will go for the tab on for new students. Click over here, and from date, I'm thinking of going in December. So let me take 1st of December to 31st. So this is the So I have selected the date December 1st to December 31st. Let me type Maharashtra. Region I can type Maharashtra. Okay. If you have multiple states also preference, you can do that. Since Maharashtra is closer to Goa, I am selecting that. Select course language, Hindi and English, whatever, anything. And let's see what results we get. Okay. Now, here all these results have come. 25 results. And you will have, these are all the centers as well as non-centers which have the courses going on during 1st to 31st December. Dates here, it is sending, you can sort the dates also in the ascending order as well as in the descending order. So let me try descending. So I want to go in the final week of December, so I can shortlist accordingly. Now if I take this entry specifically, you have the date, whether it is for male or female, okay, Hindi or Marathi. Applications accepted starting August 20th. Okay. Now that means the registrations will start on October 20th. So what you can do, you can create a notification, you can create an event in Google Calendar with this date, okay, and put a notification. So as soon as October 20th occurs, you can start booking. So this is how you search for courses, okay. So now let me show you an example of how the application page looks like. For that, I will have to type somewhere near date. So maybe September 1st to September, okay, for example. And let me try this. Let's see if any course has September 30th. Okay, so here there is one course. This is just for example's sake I'm saying. So first, if the applications are open, here it will come open. That means it is open for men, women, servers, everyone. Here, if it is saying women is closed, that means if you are a female, you can't apply. If you are, because the female registration is already full, because I want to show you the application procedure. Once the applications are open, this apply button will come. Click here. I'll go for English. So this is the application form. No. Please select gender, female. No. Country or region, India. Okay. And then these are some declarations. Next. So this is the code of conduct, code of discipline, the introduction to Vipassana. You go at the bottom. You have to read all this. This is the schedule. Click on next. Okay, now these are all the details. So let me fill this. Your email address. So since I have filled this form, let's see. Okay. For here, right, this. Okay. So now this page is the next page. Your primary information is taken. Now you are asked about what is a meditation experience. If you have done any meditation or if you have been into any kind of healing practices. So I'll click no, no. You have to click whatever is relevant. In this, if you have any mental health problems, then which has required any kind of clinical intervention, then you will have to mention over here. Okay, and today's date will come, and when you press I agree, the form will get submitted. Okay, and now I'm not doing it because I'm not actually applying for it, but you will get a confirmation email, and after a couple of days you will get email saying whether you have got enrolled or no, and from there you can proceed. Hope this information helps. Thank you. Now that we have seen the booking, I encourage you to take a leap of faith. What happens in our daily life is that we want to do many things, but we do not get that time to reflect to anything. Your contact with the external world is cut off, and that is required for contemplation. And while going for the course, you remember to take an alarm clock, because sometimes the gong is there, but it doesn't reach your ears when you are fully asleep. I am due for another course in this December, so I'll make a packing video as to everything that you need to take on a Vipassana trip. So I suggest you stay tuned for that. See you in the next video. Bye.